What's up, nerds and geeks? My name is OMGWTF LOL FTWBRB. Apparently, Nadi's also with us, and we're here with another addition to the Sunday Vlog series. So, don't want to waste anyone's time. Let me bring up the Word document. Hopefully, Nadi doesn't, stay in my shot forever, because that would be rather annoying if I do say so myself. But I'll put my camera on the side here. So, yeah. So this vlog is gonna be mostly wrestling. Like literally, I'd probably say about 90% wrestling. I don't think there's many things that don't have to do with wrestling that I'm going to be talking about. So real quick, I just want to talk a little bit about the YouTube channel. As always, Shut Your Mouth still going really well. This week I'm planning on recording a new batch. In fact, actually tomorrow, planning on recording a new batch. I know I didn't upload any Smash Brothers, but I am gonna do it this week. I promise. I'm gonna work on the videos tonight. Also, apologize for my hair. I know it's a bit of a mess, but what can you do? The final thing I want to talk about is Total Extreme Wrestling 2013. Um, I did record a couple more episodes, but I'm almost positive. I haven't double checked yet, but I'm almost positive that I accidentally saved over one of the episodes. I believe it was one of the WCW episodes, and I also think it was the pay-per-view episode as well, the sold out. Don't quote me. I could be wrong, but I know for a fact that I'm almost 100% positive. Not a fact, because it could be wrong, but I know for like 95% positive that I accidentally saved over a WCW episode with a WWF episode. So my apologies for that, but I will also cover that once we do the next WCW playthrough. That's really all I had to talk about for games or my YouTube channel or anything. Let's move on to wrestling. So this was a pretty interesting week for wrestling because as long as I've been a professional wrestling fan, I don't think I've ever seen anything like this. And I guess maybe because social media is around now, it's a little bit more easier to see stuff like this. But internet's been around for a while now, and it seems like this would have happened before, but it didn't. But Seth Rollins, um, his Twitter account, I believe, was hacked into. I don't know the whole story, and honestly, I've been kind of just staying with my story because I honestly believe that's what happened. Because I mean, it makes total sense. But anyway, from what I believe what happened, Seth Rollins was cheating on his wife, fiance, I don't know what she is, with a new NXT diva, I believe, who was recently hired. I forgot her name already. I want to say it started with a Z. It was like Sahara or some African crazy name, or I don't know. But he was, I guess, cheating on his fiance with this woman, and I guess his fiance or whoever hacked into his Twitter account had pictures of this girl naked, whether it was sent to Seth Rollins or they found them online. I don't know. They proceeded to post the nude photos of this NXT diva on Seth Rollins' Twitter page, and then later on, this is why I say it's his fiance, because his fiance, I forgot her name, like I said before, but his fiance, wife, whatever, girlfriend, on her Instagram page, I don't do any of that stuff. On her Instagram page, I think it was, posted nude photos of Seth Rollins. I believe there was like two of them. Nude photos of Seth Rollins, which was like, wow, first you mean on your own Twitter feed, a nude photo of a new hire for NXT, which was on WWE.com, by the way. WWE.com has the wrestlers' Twitter feeds on there, and on WWE.com was that nude photo as well when it happened. So, from what I understand, Vince was livid. But yes, his fiance posted nude photos of Seth Rollins on her own Tumblr account, and then I guess mocked him with one of her friends on Facebook. Um, it's honestly surprising, but if the story is true and Seth Rollins was cheating on his wife, I can't really say I feel bad for him, to be honest. I'm not saying what she did was justified, but at the same time, what he did wasn't justified either. And some people are crazy, you know. It does suck for him though, because there were a lot of rumors flying around that he might get fired and all that. I didn't think he'd get fired, but from what I understand, he did get fined and all that. So I wouldn't really worry about Seth Rollins, considering he's like one of the best talents in the WWE now, even though I don't really care for him that much. But I really wouldn't worry too much about Seth Rollins. Yeah, from what I understand, he got fined and he's currently not in a storyline, but that doesn't make sense to me since he's like always in a storyline since he's part of the Authority and they rule the WWE. But anyway, there was the Seth Rollins leak thing I was going to talk to you guys a little bit about. Just wanted to cover it. Another thing I saw that was pretty interesting, Spike TV. A lot of you know Spike TV, I would assume. It's I think they call themselves a man's network or something. I don't know. They've had Monday Night Raw on there in the past. They've had Impact TNA on there in the past. And it seems like they're looking for, or going to be looking at, another wrestling company. Apparently, Spike TV has shown interest in New Japan Pro Wrestling, NJPW. I guess from what I understand that I think Jeff Jarrett, I don't remember the name I read, but I want to say Jeff Jarrett, he thought about bringing more of a Americanized New Japan Pro Wrestling to Spike TV. I'm not sure what they mean by Americanized, and when I hear that, I hope they mean more like with more stories and angles and stuff, because I wouldn't mind that, because I mean, whatever, that's American. I mean, almost every American company here has some sort of stories and angles going on, where New Japan's mostly about the wrestling. What I'm worried about is that they say more Americanized, that they mean like the more American style wrestling, because then I don't want to watch it anymore. You know, I like New Japan Pro Wrestling for how different it is. I like Lucha Underground for how different it is. I don't want to watch WWE in every company, basically. So I'm excited. I really do hope Spike TV is legitimately interested in New Japan Pro Wrestling, because I'd love to have a program here in America with English commentary and all that. I really like the product that New Japan puts out, and the show that they have on Axis TV. It's garbage because it's just past matches, so it's like I could watch that on YouTube. I don't need to watch it now. Either way, let's go over some of the wrestling shows that I checked out again. I don't watch Friday Night SmackDown, so tonight we're going to be covering like Monday Night Raw, New Japan Pro Wrestling's New Beginning in Osaka, Lucha Underground, ROH, and Impact, of course. And I know New Japan also had another pay-per-view event, New Japan in Cincinnati, I think it was, also this week, but I'm going to be covering that next week, because New Japan's a long show, so I don't want to have it be all about New Japan. Excuse me. Excuse me again. Got a tickle in my throat. Okay. Anyway, so Monday Night Raw, there's a couple things that I thought were pretty interesting. Early on in the show, there was a segment where Triple H and Stephanie were like belittling Roman Reigns and belittling Roman Reigns and Daniel Bryan for the way they've treated Big Show and Kane, which I honestly thought was a little funny. And what I thought even was more funny was when Daniel Bryan dropped Katie Vick, basically. He said something like, "It's not worse than what you've done in caskets," or something like that. And it was just something that caught me off guard. I thought it was funny as hell. Rusev and John Cena had like their first segment together, and let me tell you, I'm excited. That segment was great, and it made Rusev look like $1,000,000. Let me tell you that. The fact that, I mean, yeah, he poked Cena in the eye. I guess that's cheating. But the fact that he, it shows that he has the knowledge to go after his eye and all that, that's smart on Rusev. I mean, I know it's fake and it's planned, but the illusion is what matters. So that's what I like. I think that's going to be a great program between him and Cena. Dolph Ziggler and Bray Wyatt, unexpectedly, of course, because no one expects them to put on a great match. But either way, Dolph Ziggler and Bray Wyatt did indeed put on a fantastic match. And if you couldn't tell, I was being a little sarcastic there. It was a great match. I would go back to Monday Night Raw to watch the matches that I mentioned here tonight, along with any of the other shows. That's why I like to mention the matches. I think I'm going to be doing some things a little differently in the upcoming vlogs. Sting, WCW legend and wrestling legend, to be completely honest. Sting officially accepts to meet up with Triple H. I don't believe they're meeting up for a brawl at Fastlane, just to talk. But he accepted. Tyson Kidd and Antonio Cesaro had a great match with the Usos. I know a lot of people are kind of tired with them wrestling and all that because it seems a little repetitive. But if they keep doing matches like they did on Monday Night Raw, I don't mind. Maybe I do, because from what I understand, Triple H is pretty high up on Kidd and Cesaro, and the plan is to possibly give them the belts at WrestleMania. So I wouldn't want to see Usos and Cesaro and Kidd over and over and over again either. Miz is just awesome. He during a match with Damien Sandow and Sin Cara, Miz was sitting on the outside, and he just played his part to perfection. Stopping Sandow or Mizdow from acting like him, or the Miz, and it was just awesome. It was Miz at his best. If WWE would continue to give us that Miz, no one would get bored of him, because that's a guy we like to hate. I loved it, and it really injected some life into the Miz feud. I mean, yeah, it's just getting started, but this one really got me super excited for it now. Like, I wasn't as invested as I was before, but after seeing how Miz was treating Sandow, I'm interested to see where this goes. The final thing I wanted to talk about Monday Night Raw is the build-up to the Fastlane match between Roman Reigns and Daniel Bryan. So far, so good. WWE, keep up the good work. I'm enjoying this segment between Reigns and Bryan. I like how they're both kind of like good guys, but at the same time, they don't care about each other because WrestleMania title shot's on the line. So, excuse me again. I haven't been coughing like all day, let me tell you. And now I am. So next up, I wanted to talk about New Japan Pro Wrestling, the new beginning in Osaka. In all honesty, I'd say just go check out the entire show, because with the exception of like maybe the first two matches, it was a great show all around. I think the only reason I didn't like the first two matches is because they were short. But the show was great all around. We had Hiroshi Tenzan team up with Jushin Thunder Liger, the current NWA Junior Heavyweight Champion, to take on the NWA World Heavyweight Champion Rob Conway. A lot of you may know who Rob Conway is, by the way. He used to work for WWE. And Chase Owens, Tomoka Hama, and I almost called him Kato. Kota Ibushi had a great match. The IWGP World Tag Team, not the World Tag Team, I'm talking WWE. The Junior Heavyweight Tag Team titles are on the line. The Young Bucks, aka Bullet Club, getting the titles, I believe, for the second, maybe third, I want to say second time, getting them away from Red Dragon, who I actually love. I love Bobby Fish. The Time Splitters were also in that match as well, Alex Shelley and Kushida. So we had the Junior Heavyweight Championship was on the line. Rizuka Takeuchi, my apologies if I'm pronouncing these names wrong, but Rizuku Takeuchi took on Kenny Omega, who I would say is my personal favorite New Japan Pro wrestler. That was a good match. Kazuki Okada, Toru Yano, and I'm sorry, I'm not good at pronouncing these names. And Kazuki Sakuraba defeated Bad Luck Vale, Yuji Takahashi, and Tama Tonga. Bullet Club again. I don't know. No. I don't know if they defeated them. I don't remember the outcomes to all these matches, but all these matches, I'm telling you, were great matches. Yuji Nagata, Satoshi Kojima, and Tetsuneta, had a great match against Shinjuku Nakarama, Tomomi Ishii, and Yoshihashi. I'm sorry. And then we had some, two more title changes tonight. The World Tag Team Championships are on the line. The Bullet Club's Carl Anderson and Doc Gallows, who you guys may know better as Festus or Luke Gallows or Doc in TNA. They defeated the current champions, or former tag team champions, I guess now, Hiroki Goto and Kazuyo Shibata. Which is interesting, because I'm not sure if that was their first defense, but I know Goto and Shibata won the titles from Anderson and Gallows at Wrestle Kingdom 9, so it's interesting to see that they didn't really have that long of a reign. And then finally we had the IWGP World Championship. It was AJ Styles versus champion Hiroshi Tanahashi, and AJ came away. I believe he's now a two-time IWGP champion, and it was a big night for the Bullet Club. I mean, they hold all the titles except one now. They got the Junior Heavyweight, the Junior Heavyweight Tag Teams, the Junior Heavyweight Championship, the World Tag Teams, and the World Championship now. Bullet Club kind of like rules New Japan Pro Wrestling. Next up, we had NXT Takeover Rival. It was like their big event. Hideo Itami started off the night against Tyler Breeze, and let me tell you, those kicks that Itami was hitting Breeze with, damn, those were hard. Good match. I feel like a lot of people aren't giving that match the acknowledgement that it does deserve, but considering that we did have the Fatal 4-Way Women's title match and Finn Balor versus Neville, I can understand why that one's kind of getting underlooked. Baron Corbin took on Bull Dempsey in a no DQ match, to be honest. It was a good match. I do wish it was longer, and I do kind of question the no DQ stipulation because it really didn't come into play. I don't think anyone was hit with a weapon during the match. I think the only time a weapon came to the match was when Bull Dempsey pulled out a chair, but then got hit with the end of the days when he was going to hit him or hit Corbin with it, and then Corbin beat him up after the match with the chair. So it's like, what was the point of a no DQ? It was one-on-one. Blake and Murphy got a name change. They used to be Wesley Blake and Buddy Murphy. Now they're just going by Blake and Murphy. They defended their tag team championships against the former champions, Lucha Dragons. The match was a little sloppy in the beginning, let me just tell you that. I really think Blake and Murphy did look good. I don't think the Dragons did. I think both Kalisto and Sin Cara looked very sloppy tonight. And yeah, I don't know. I think they're going to be getting called up pretty soon since Sin Cara is on the main roster and he's getting some wins underneath of him. And WWE needs some tag team talent, so they're probably going to call up Kalisto soon, to be honest. We had a little segment, and it was called The Takeover Isn't Over. I wanted to talk a little bit about this last week, but I completely forgot about it. But it does seem, indeed, that Solomon Crowe is coming to NXT. I mean, he's been there, but it seems like he's finally going to make his debut. For some of you who don't know who Solomon Crowe is, he was better known as Sami Callihan on the independent scene. He was part of a team with Dean Ambrose. I think they were called the Switchblade Conspiracy, so he's a great performer, and I can't wait to see what he can do on NXT. And it seems like he might be having his hacker gimmick as well, too. I know he originally had this gimmick, but they kind of like took it off of him, and they're bringing it to him, so I'm happy. I think it'll be fun. Balor and Neville, I don't think I have to tell you, what a match. But I will say, and I know I'm in the minority here, but I just don't like Finn Balor's entrance. It's just awkward. It's too much. There's times where it's like, yeah, that was cool, and then there's times where it's like, why'd you do that? That was stupid. I just don't like it. I'll be honest, I don't understand why everyone's like, did you see that entrance? And I'm just sitting in the back like, unfortunately. So I might get a little hate on that, but I just really don't like his entrance. In my opinion, the best match of the night. Better than Balor and Neville. I said it. Better than Finn Balor and Adrian Neville. Better than Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens. Charlotte defending her women's championship against not Adrian Neville. Charlotte defending her women's championship against Bayley, Becky Lynch, and Sasha Banks. What a match. I don't understand why WWE does not do that on their shows. I mean, they see how much the NXT audience likes it. They hear how much praise it gets over the internet. Why don't they let women's wrestling be women's wrestling? I'm sick of what we get on Monday Night Raw and all their other events because they're boring, slow matches when I know that these women can do a lot better than what they're doing. That match was the best match of the night. I don't care what anyone says. Sasha Banks coming away with as a new women's champion as well. And the main event was Sami Zayn taking on Kevin Owens. This was a dominating performance. Sami got a few shots here and there in, but most of the night, or most of the match, was spent with Owens just dominating Sami Zayn and becoming the new champ by practically knocking the guy out. So we know Finn Balor will be taking on Owens for the title. I know a lot of people are saying, what if it happens at Mania? Could you see imagine the entrance at Mania? Unfortunately, I can. I'm not excited about that either. I don't think we'll get it at WrestleMania. I think we'll get a match between the two, and then maybe like a triple threat, maybe a fatal four-way at WrestleMania. I don't know. I also heard someone say, what about a ladder match between some talent? I don't know. NXT Rival, though, was probably the best show this week. Now to Lucha Underground. I don't have much to talk about with Lucha Underground. Fenix and Argennis put on a great match. We had a great promo by Big Rick, but you guys may know him as Ezekiel Jackson. Son of Havoc put on probably the best match of the night against Johnny Mundo. And may I just add, Lucha Underground just got some two big names. I mean, we already knew that they got Alberto El Patron. We saw him last week. He made his official debut tonight, or not tonight, but this week, in the ring when he was cutting this promo. And I didn't know this. Alberto El Patron is actually the AAA World Champion, and the former World Champion, who was actually the longest reigning World Champion, El Texano Jr. came out and attacked El Patron. So it's like Lucha Underground just got two huge main eventers from Mexico. That's huge. That is huge. For ROH, we had the top prospect tournament continuing on. Donovan Dijak defeated Ashley Six. Ashley Six was a guy that I thought was really interesting, but Donovan Dijak, let me tell you, I forgot a little bit about him last week. His finisher is phenomenal, and I honestly think he's winning this whole thing. The Beer City Bruiser and Will Ferrer actually put on a better match than I thought they would have. We also had a segment between Roderick Strong and BJ Whitmer. Roderick Strong made quick work of his opponent, and then God, we had to sit through probably the worst mic work I've ever seen. BJ Whitmer and Roderick Strong should never have a microphone in their hands. If they ever go to WWE or any other big company, get them a manager, because those two cannot talk. There's at one point where Roderick Strong was on the mic and he's like, "Why don't you just get in this ring and let's fight?" What? It was horrible. I'm sorry if you're a fan of the two, but they cannot talk on the mic. And I'm giving them chances. Every time I've seen Strong talk, every time I've seen Whitmer talk on the mic, I'm bored. Just don't let them talk on the mic anymore. But we'll also see those two face off at the 13th anniversary show. That's looking like it's going to be a great show. And then our main event was the Briscoes and ODB, which I guess you can count on Briscoe since she's one dirty Briscoe, taking on Thy Kingdom and Maria. And the Kingdom won. But let me tell you, ODB took a beating. I didn't expect men to be taking on women in this match. I know Lucha Underground does it, but I didn't think any other company did it until I saw ROH. And freaking the end portion of the match it saw ODB like about to powerbomb Maria, and it just Matt Taven and Bennett just super kick ODB right in the face. Like I was like, whoa! They just super kick her. It was amazing. I'm looking forward to that match too, because I believe at the 13th anniversary show, we're also going to see ODB take on Maria, and I know that's not going to be a great match, but it'll be interesting to see. I'm looking forward to the shenanigans that are going to take place. And finally, we're going to talk about Impact Wrestling. It's going to be our final thing, and Impact Wrestling was alright. It wasn't a bad show this week. I wouldn't say it was great. It was definitely better than last week, I'll tell you that. There was a promo that Bobby Roode and Austin Aries cut before they had a match with each other, and I really enjoyed the promo just because I love the respect between the two. They're both, guys that legitimately believe that they're the best, but they also have so much respect because they know that guys could be considered the best as well. Then they also put on a fantastic match. I mean, honestly, did you expect any less from the two? Bobby Roode and Austin Aries put on a fantastic match against each other. I would definitely check that match out again. There's this, I guess, Scottish wrestler. I haven't been watching TNA for that long. Named Grado, who I guess recently has joined. I've never heard of him before, but he's really over in Scotland. They were in Glasgow, by the way, and Al Snow and him had a segment, and it was really well done. I enjoyed it a lot, and it got me pumped up for next week, which is going to be Grado versus Al Snow. Ethan Carter III and Tyrus took on Spud, Mandrews, and Borash in a 3-on-1 handicap match. And not 3-on-1, a 3-on-2 handicap match. Ethan Carter III and Tyrus did come away with the victory. And at the very end of the match, it looked like EC3 was going to shave off Rockstar Spud's hair, or shave him bald until the lights went out. And at this point, I'm going to spoil a little thing here because I know a little bit in the future. I thought Drew McIntyre was coming, because I know he's coming to TNA, and they were in Glasgow, so it made the most sense to me. It wasn't Drew McIntyre. It was Mr. Anderson. Anderson came back, and I guess he's going to join Rockstar Spud in the fight against EC3 and Tyrus. I have no idea, but it's good to see Anderson back. And then our main event saw Bobby Lashley and Kurt Angle take on MVP and Samoa Joe. That was a pretty good match as well. I know next week we're going to have like this, I guess, a battle royal between all the top contenders for the title to see who will fight Bobby Lashley for the future. At this moment, it looks like Kurt Angle is the favorite. I would argue that they should give it to MVP, though. So I was about to talk about the New Japan Pro Wrestling show because I actually have some of it listed. But like I said, that's next week. Geez, these are long vlogs, but thanks for sticking in there with me. 25 minutes later, basically. I don't have much else to talk about. I'm not going to keep it here longer. If you stayed this long with me, I do thank you. And as always, I will see you guys next Sunday where we're going to talk about more wrestling. We already know we're going to be talking about New Japan Pro Wrestling, The New Beginning in Sendai. I don't know. But that's it for me, nerds and geeks. My name's been OMGWTF, LOLFTWBRB. And if you haven't enjoyed this vlog and you'd like to see more, make sure to leave a like and comment below if you want me to talk about anything in specific. Ask me questions. I have no problem answering them. Talk about me with anything. I'll answer questions in the comment section. I'll establish or answer them in the next vlog. I like to hear you guys' input on certain things. As always, though, nerds and geeks, I thank you for hanging around with me one last time, and I will see you next week. So until then, have a wonderful